another garden update tour. It's been a while. I know I had mentioned doing a houseplant tour, and I definitely want to do that. I actually started to do it today, but the house is just a little too busy. So I thought I could come out here and give you guys an update on what's been going on outside, which has been taking up a lot of my time. So for reference, we planted this garden about back in March, I would say mid-March, and this is also our very first garden. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing, and we're just kind of rolling with the punches, and we've been learning a lot. So in today's video, I want to walk you through and show you kind of how things are doing. And if you missed the first video, it's down below, and you can check that one out if you're curious to see where we started. But yes. So without further ado, before we get into it, my name is Shannon. This is Planet 386. Thank you so much for stopping by. If gardening and planting and indoor growing is your thing, then I hope you'll consider subscribing and sticking around for future updates. And let's get into it. Okay, so this is kind of the beginning. We did add this little bench. We've added on since the last video you guys saw. That was a pretty little butterfly that flew by. And I definitely felt like we needed more space. So we did add past that box there, that garden box, and to the right, we've added all of that. So basically I explored with these planters here, and I found that I had very little success with them. I think I didn't put enough soil in from the beginning, and so I was basically like I think it was just too dark. Like I don't think the plants got enough light because they were too down, like too far down in the pot. I hope I'm making sense, but I think in the fall I will try again, and I will definitely utilize this a little bit differently. And I'm also not sure if this space didn't get enough light, but what I do have working out really well is this tomato, which is actually, she is actually from last year. I propagated my mother tomato and it overwintered, and now she's a full-grown plant. And we pretty much harvest from her daily. So just little cherry tomatoes. And then these blue potatoes, Adirondack blue potatoes, these are doing really, really well for us. We planted them. I think I got them at Lowe's or Home Depot. And you actually planted like the little potato. And then I would say 2 or 3 weeks later, we got these shoots, which eventually have, you can see it's vining everywhere. And we did check. We think we have another couple weeks to go before we're ready for a harvest, but that's really exciting. These are collard greens. We've already harvested once, and John made the most delicious collard greens. So we are looking forward to growing some more of those next time. Just some lettuce. I do have a sad looking stevia, and I did plant some rocket salad down in here, just like a lettuce variety, but I realized quickly that lettuce takes up a lot of space, and I definitely needed to give that more room. Over here is just an herb box. This dill was actually given to us by my neighbor. Shout out Miss Amy, and it is like a full-grown tree now. I have harvested from this. It is flowering. Smells fantastic. And I think I need to stake it, support it, or maybe I should cut it back. If you have any tips, someone let me know. But yeah, we have some cilantro growing. I have some very slow growing oregano. Oregano seems to take forever to grow. But I'm just happy to have some started. And then over here, this is probably the biggest success so far. These are cucumbers, you guys, and I cannot even believe how these just totally transformed like the whole space. We have cucumbers on. This is our biggest one. How are you today? Look at this guy. Isn't he amazing? He's almost ready. This is amazing, and they're just like everywhere. Not big ones yet, but a lot of small ones. We have another one back here. like a lot of small ones. And then I realized how quickly this spread. So I kind of let him over here. I definitely know next time I will give, like, we love cucumbers and I will dedicate like a full space for cucumbers. If you guys have any recommendations on like what pairs really well growing with cucumbers, let me know. I really like them trailing up like this. So, like what would be good maybe underneath if you have any tips? Because what I have now, isn't so great. This is a little cantaloupe stray. It's obviously not doing great. Another cherry tomato. This thing's doing amazing. Finally starting to give us some fruit. And then we have beans here. So these were just like, it just said garden beans. And I definitely learned a huge lesson here. So the direction said to plant 2, as you can see I've done, and then thin them out. But I had a really difficult time thinning them out because they were all doing so well. It like made me feel guilty to like pluck them. So definitely lesson learned. I ended up, I think what happened is they kind of, it's like they choked each other out. And I'm just now getting some new like regrowth. I did go in and kind of thin them out. They may still be too close together, but I do have some kind of vining and we'll kind of see where that takes us. I'm not expecting much. This tomato, she's not looking so hot. She was doing great, and then I'm not really sure what happened. I'm not sure this is the best spot for tomatoes, like this spot of the bed. I do have some sad little chives. And then some more tomatoes. These are actually Roma tomatoes that we actually, John juices a lot and he must have juiced one. He likes to take like the pulp from the juice and feed it to the garden and to our potted plants. And on occasion, we'll get a little straggler plant. And a lot of these tomato plants that you see are from exactly that. So yeah, that's that. There's some more here because a bunch of them sprouted. And then all of my onions kind of fizzled out. I have a few left, but yeah, this was another thing that I kind of, they were already started and I just had to like pop them in the ground. I'm not really sure what happened. I don't know if they got too wet, if it's just not enough sunlight here, but I had onions here and I had onions in one of those grow bags in 2 very separate spots of the garden, and they both just didn't do well. So maybe it's just like not the time of year. I don't know. This little banana that we got recently has officially taken off. She's amazing. This is a vanilla ice cream banana, I believe is what she's called. This is her newest leaf. She is so cool. Rosemary doing amazing. And then we potted up, or not potted up, we planted just some little pollinators along this line. So I know it looks a little maybe unkept or unruly, but what I would really like is to just have like a big wildflower hedge here. Yes, a big wildflower hedge to attract all of the pollinators. Another tomato right here. And then that wispy bush is actually some asparagus that's been, I think he's on his 3rd year now. So we've never actually harvested from it, but I'm hoping that by putting it in the ground, we will eventually get a harvest. It had been in the pot until I literally just put it there. And then right here, I have some rainbow carrots, a lemon that's excitingly coming back after a very, very sad stint back here in the garden. So there's a story behind her. We're just happy that she's alive. I have a little sage over there. And then over here, you guys, is carrots. And they are doing amazing. I can't even believe it. It does look a little rooted in here, and that is in fact because I came in and thinned some of this out because they were too close together. Carrot seeds are super duper small, and when planting them, I found it to be quite challenging to like space them out per the direction. So I kind of just like sprinkled them in. Okay, you guys, we were talking about carrots and then the battery overheated or the camera overheated. So I'm not sure where I left off with that, but they are doing really, really good. I just separated them out a little bit and, you know, you can see like new little sprouts coming up. So that is exciting. This is a blackberry that I plan on trellising up as soon as she gets long enough. This girl has been with us for a while, but she's seen better days. We brought her out here to the garden and she's already taking off. That over there is some green onions that I did not grow from seed. I cheated. We did buy a full plant. I just kind of popped it in there. I've had such terrible luck with onions. I don't know what it is. And then we have just another tomato here. I know this is when it starts to get a little crazy looking. These are a couple cantaloupes that are not doing very well, so we're not going to linger too long on those. But this is where the cantaloupes start. So I tried this method of vining them up, 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 and I've been trimming away some of these leaves that looks like maybe powdery mildew. I've been trying not to get the leaves wet when I water, and so I did try chopping some of the leaves off, and I do see where it's putting out new growth, so maybe I'll get like some new vines down here. This is another one, just kind of taken off. She's doing her own thing. I'm kind of playing with just like some going on the ground and some vining up and just seeing what kind of difference there is, but yeah, they go all the way up, and I'll give you a better view in a second when we go over there. But this is kind of just like where the peppers live. This is a red bell we just planted. This is a serrano, poblano, basil. This we bought thinking it was going to be those like multicolored sweet peppers. They are not. These peppers are very hot. I think we found that one at Lowe's. This is Tabasco. I did harvest a couple today. And then in the front, hold on, we have a blueberry here. I did add this, like, this used to be like a garment rack thing. Right now it's just holding like a bucket, some soil, and I figured I could use it for hanging plants, maybe some herbs in the future. And then these are some sweet peppers that I planted from seed. And so to see them taking off and flowering is so exciting. I know some don't look great, but I did add this just for some support. It seems to be helping. And I noticed that when I feed, these guys really take off. And then we do have a nice little bell pepper coming in. This is kind of a better look at the cantaloupe vine. I just kind of have her draping over, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest the fruit, like I have this little baby melon coming in, on these planks. So we'll get to that in a second. This is watermelon, as we just talked about. So this guy here, I'm gonna let him kind of just go on the ground wherever he kind of wants to go over in this space. And then I have two that are vining up. Here is one. The only thing is the weight of the fruit did bend that vine a little bit right there. So I'm kind of hoping that he's gonna be okay. And then if we go right over here on the plank, you can see I have like more of the cantaloupe vine, all the little flowers, and then this is that other bit of the watermelon vine. There's another little one. So I'm not sure if this part of the vine from the big watermelon on is gonna make it. But this is kind of my plan. If we do get fruit, my plan is to kind of hold it up here on top of these cedar planks and just kind of see how that goes. I may have to put something sturdier. Like I said, we're new at this. This is just kind of where we're at, if they even produce fruit, you know? What I wanted to try, I wanted to try this vining method because it does save a lot of space, and if you can get it to work, you can definitely plant more in your garden, and kind of, I guess that's where my mindset was. So yeah, that's kind of where we are with that. I mean, it's definitely possible, as you can see. It's just a matter of, I guess, practicality at this point. I also learned that I was kind of wondering, like, man, I have all these flowers on my cantaloupe, but I don't have any cantaloupes. And I learned about the male and the female flowers, and so I'm hoping that some of these will come to fruition. You see what I did there? Okay, that wasn't funny. Okay, sweet potato vine is just like taking off. My idea for the vine was to be like the main focal point and to add the charm and whimsy to the trellis, and it's definitely doing that. I'm out here pretty much every other day making sure that these vines stay like, you know, under control and that they're not like growing into the trees. But yeah, I'm really, really loving the way that this is coming together. This is another piece of that cantaloupe. So it kind of just like vines up. A lot of this is cantaloupe, sweet potato vine, and watermelon. And then over here, it's been quite the learning curve with the strawberries. So I thought I was overwatering them at first, and come to find out, the water was not actually getting down into the pot. And so I was actually underwatering. Once I started injecting the water into the pot, I started getting all of this beautiful growth. And actually in the last couple days, we have some blooms. We also received a little bit of rain, and I think perhaps strawberries may be a little finicky with the water, or the type of water, because I can tell you the rain has literally worked miracles, the little bit that we've gotten on these guys. And then this is just another banana. I think this one is called like Red Siam Musa. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. New leaf on the way. And then this is just some mint. I wish you guys could smell this. It smells so fantastic. It's doing fantastic. It was recommended to keep it in a pot because mint can tend to run wild if you allow it. I do need to fill in this part of the pot, but she's already taking over her new little space, and I just think it's lovely. I just think it's a really pretty addition. So once I get this guy going, I plan on like moving it over to where I have my other herbs, and I want to see if it grows in that corner because I'm having trouble in that corner, and I feel like if this grows over there, maybe it's not the space, maybe it's more of a like soil or watering issue. Just kind of trying to limit, you know, the issues, or what is it? Rule out the problems. And then this is a banana. I literally just tripped on this soil. So close-up view of this banana, not banana, pineapple. We did grow this from the top. So we cut the top, and yeah, that's what we're looking at. There's a little ladybug in there. And then last but not least, we have an olive and another pineapple. We have 2 olive trees actually. And then I guess while I'm out here, I'll show you this side. So over here, I've just planted my peace lily, which she was one of my first original plants. It is amazing to see her in this state because I literally got her as a tiny little house plant. She kind of outgrew her space, and so I put her in a larger pot. And I had to find a new shadier spot because the spot that she was in, like I said, she outgrew it. And so she had all these burnt tips where her little leaves were peeking above the table that was kind of blocking the sun. And yeah, so since moving her back here, putting her in her big girl pot, she has given me flower after flower, and it's not even time for this girl to be blooming, but she's just full of them. And then this is just a little variegated umbrella plant, shrimp plant, which hummingbirds love this shrimp plant. This is a guava tree that we had. She's not doing so hot, unfortunately, as you can see. The tree is still alive. I'm thinking this soil here is not great. And then this is my philodendron Prince of Orange. And as you can see, she is blooming like crazy. This may be a little bit too bright of a spot for her, but I'm hoping that she will just acclimate because I don't really have any other space for her. She's still putting out growth. I And I just think she adds such a lovely pop of color back here. I know it's a little too bright, but I'm kind of hoping that it's gonna work out. She's just full of blooms, full of them. A new leaf on the way. She was super tiny when we got her. I can't even believe that she's this big. And then the shrimp plant is another really cool one. He was just recently put here, so he's definitely probably gonna go through a little bit of shock. But he's just always so pretty. And then I figured while I'm out here, I'll give you guys a quick tour of the fruit trees that we have on the property. This is I think she's our mandarin. No, I'm sorry, she is our tangelo. She's grown a lot this season so far, actually. I think she's gonna be a beautiful tree one day. I love where we're going here. This is a little grapefruit that we rescued actually from Lowe's or Home Depot. Must have been Home Depot. I'm sorry, Lowe's. Because I don't think they do clearance. Yeah, they don't do clearance at Home Depot, so it must have been Lowe's. But anyways, she does have a couple little grapefruits on, which I'm just now noticing. This is like the first fruit that she's given us. John has been treating her for leaf miners, and she must love the treatment because she's definitely doing some things that she hasn't. And then this is a variegated lemon tree. Even if I never get a lemon off of it, I just think it is such a beautiful tree. And actually, we do have a couple lemons. Look how pretty they are, you guys. Gorgeous, right? Seriously. And the lemons are pink inside, but the foliage on this plant, absolutely beautiful. She's growing a ton. And then this is a little Barbados cherry tree. The fruit on these cherries is very tart, very tart. There's also 3 seeds in every single cherry, which is interesting. But we might as well pick them because they are falling on the ground, which is sad. We don't want that. To be honest, I've been so focused on the garden, I haven't even really had time to focus on the trees. John is pretty good about taking care of our trees. So yeah, pretty flowers, pretty tree. And then this is our massive mango tree who really needs to be chopped back, but she has fruit on. So we're gonna let her finish this out. This is the first year that we've gotten fruit in 2 years because it's just gotten too cold. And then this is our peach tree. She had a ton of peaches on. You guys probably saw them in the very last video I did on the garden. Unfortunately, the squirrels raided the entire thing in one day and all of the peaches were gone. So next year we will have to get a better plan. I do have a beautiful bird of paradise back here who is loving life. I have not looked at her recently just because I just haven't been over here, and I cannot believe how much she's grown. Wow, this is a white bird of paradise with the white and purple flower. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for hanging out in the garden with me. My next one is I'm planning on a houseplant tour, so y'all pray for me. I need to have a day that I can just focus on that, which seems to be few and far between. But anyways, I'm hot, I'm sweaty, it's time to go inside. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for sticking around. Bye.